Today, for all you hand cannon enjoyers, it is time to rejoice. We got the return of the newly updated 140 RPM adaptive frame hand cannon Exalted Truth, which was added back into Destiny 2 with the new Trials of Osiris revamps. And I wanted to take a deeper look into the weapon and talk about the role that I would try to get. We will also talk about how it is in both PvE and PvP applications. Now hold on for just 1 second before we hop into the video. If you end up enjoying the video, please do me a favor and drop a like and a follow, be greatly appreciated. Now, Exalted Truth is slowly climbing up on my list of favorite legendary hand cannons, sitting right next to both Rose and Fatebringer. This hand cannon is what I wish that Palindrome would have been. This weapon is formidable with its fast TTK and various perks that make this weapon very easy to use and design builds around. This weapon has a few extremely solid perks for both PvP and PvE, with perks like Slide Shot, Destabilizing Rounds, Withering Gaze, and Lone Wolf in the third column, and One for All, Opening Shot, Magnificent Howl, and Precision Instrument in the fourth. Now getting into some of the roles. For PvE, we don't have anything too crazy, but the few perks we do have are very good, especially for a primary void weapon. Exalted Truth can roll Destabilizing Rounds and Withering Gaze in the third, alongside One for All in the fourth. Now for PvE sake, I can't say everything is good with this weapon. In the stage of the game where SMGs, autos, and rocket assisted sidearms essentially rule the secondary slot for both ad clear and damage purposes, this weapon gets beat by those factors. But in void builds, this is very solid, especially when pairing it with exotics, artifact mods, and fragments that grants either weaken or volatile rounds. It could make for a very solid primary weapon for any void build. When it actually comes down to the rolls, what I would recommend is these two rolls. For the barrel, use whatever you like, but I just use polygonal to get that extra stability. Again, same thing for the mag, use whatever, but I just use flared magwell just for that faster reload. For the third, use destabilizing rounds, and then for the fourth, demoralize. For destabilizing rounds, defeating a target creates a void burst. Hitting other targets with this burst makes them volatile and grants you volatile rounds for an improved duration. And then for the fourth, demoralize. Precision final blows cause nearby targets to become weakened, so essentially you will be spreading volatile and weaken all throughout the enemies as you kill them. And now for the second role, again, same thing for the barrel and the mag, polygonal rifling, but you can use whatever, and then mag, flared magwell, but again, use whatever you like. For the third column, destabilizing rounds, and for the fourth, One for All. With destabilizing rounds mixing with One for All, you will essentially be able to hit the damage buff every single time that you kill a group of enemies. Now for these two roles, you can essentially always have weaken and volatile rounds applied to targets at all times, which again is very nice. You could also use Withering Gaze in the third column in boss situations to apply weaken during damage rotations, but that is optional. Now with the PvE portion out of the way, we can talk a little bit about what this weapon excels heavily in, which is PvP. This weapon's stats aren't anything to write home about, but it shines with its outstanding perks in the fourth column, like Precision Instrument and Opening Shot, making it a very solid choice among some of the other 140s currently in the game. Exalted Truth makes mid to long range gunfights a breeze, with Hammerforged rifling and Accurized giving this weapon a plus 20 range, with its base of 50 giving it a total of 70 range. Now mix that with a ranged masterwork, or if you end up getting this adept, having access to those solid adept mods, giving you up to plus 85 range. Not to mention its ability with Precision Instrument to allow for a quick 2 crits and 1 body. In my opinion, I feel like this weapon is better compared to some of its other competitors. With its ability to roll Slide Shot and PI, it makes things a little easier for players to land consistent shots and not having to worry about reloading every 12 seconds like a COD player. Off of my experience with this weapon, the god roll, in my opinion, is Hammerforged rifling, Accurized rounds, Slide Shot in the third column, and Precision Instrument in the fourth. You could also go for Mag Howl or Opening Shot on the 4th, but the gradual damage buff upon precision damage just makes this weapon a little easier to use and allows for easier engagements in 3v3s and 6s. This weapon is a must get during this episode, with the new revamps to trials and access to these new rewards for all players. Altogether, in my opinion, this weapon is extremely good right now. This is essentially the knockoff palindrome that everyone wanted. I really do enjoy this weapon, especially in comp and surprisingly in master dungeons. It does a lot of damage in both settings and can make some builds more interesting. Now, if I had to rate this weapon for PvE, I would give it a 77 out of 100, and then for PvP, I would give it an 88 out of 100. Would highly recommend to grab it whenever it becomes the adept weapon for trials, but the base version is also good if you have the engrams for it. Now, I just wanted to say thank you for staying to the end of the video. My name is Johnson, and I will see you guys later. Peace.